Hello everyone, my name is Siyabonga Lusiba, well known as OZ Lusiba. I was born in Joburg and grew up in Whittlesey, a small town just outside Queenstown. Um, I grew up then and studied at Queen's College. Through the means of sport, through the love of sport, I was lucky enough to be one of the guys who was chosen to come to Queen's College and to study through the sports bursary. The program was run by Mr. Zandile Guana, who's now involved at Queen's Junior, who runs the cricket there. Through the love of sport, I got the opportunity to come to the school and I enjoyed myself, which was difficult at start, obviously coming from the rural areas, coming to a school like this. But which was an opportunity I took with both hands, with some of my guys coming from those areas, where I was well welcomed there and I did well through my sport. After that, obviously, I got involved in those sports, cricket and hockey. Then after school, I studied through Boston sports administration. Then Queens also took me up after school to do an internship on coaching and let me grow a little bit. After 4 or 5 years, I left to Bloemfontein to sort of get more experience in a different province. And I came back now to give back to the school who has done everything for me throughout my life. From our side, I think lots of other businesses can get involved, definitely improve how they get involved. I know most like businesses, Twiza, Red Guard, they do get involved there, but I just also think that money needs to be channeled down the right people. I think lots of money gets channeled down, but it doesn't get to where it's supposed to be. While I'm saying that, there's lots of grounds here where the money was being channeled down by businesses, but it just didn't get to those sports grounds. I mean, perfect examples is the Dumpy Adams, the states it's in now. I feel like that those we missed an opportunity there to put someone to look after that place so it can be maintained. So businesses in a small town like Queenstown, they do play a big role. And there's lots of tournaments, 7-a-side tournament where they're sponsored by Twiza, Red Guard. I mean, a school like Queens is also being sponsored by Red Guard and Twiza, the main sponsor. I think the money is there, but the people in businesses, they just don't want to waste it on where it doesn't go where it's supposed to be. I mean, it's quite hard for businesses in our day and age with COVID just to take up money to give to people, and after that finding out that money wasn't used right. They play a big role. It should start from school, from while they're in school, and to teach the kids how to handle themselves after school. Because after school, there's no one that really runs after you to do things. And I think it's also the coaches, and the coaches need to educate the kids. Not just after school, you're done with us, so we're done with you. I think they need to play mentorship part when it comes to sending the kids out to the world. Most businesses, like kids these days, get lots of bursaries to study or to play sport. But now, what I like about the varsities now, they're not just looking at kids' performance on the hockey field or on the rugby field. They also look at the all-round kid. So they prepare the school with the kid when he's finished playing the sport, so he can get education as well. I think the companies as well can also get involved where they're not just giving out money. They look at the progress of the kid and where they can see where they can help the kids, especially when it comes to things of finding someone to talk to. When the kid is going, especially a kid going from Queenstown to Joburg, that quite be daunting for a kid like that. Big lads, Friday and things is not used to. So I think companies can provide someone to talk to that kid every day or once a week to find out how he's doing, what he needs, not just give him money, oh, we paid for your school fees or we paid for your varsity, now it's all in your hands. You need to find out how the kid is doing, if he's happy here, or can he move somewhere else, or what, to find out more from the kids. These kids these days, they don't talk a lot, and there's lots of challenges out there. 2 or 3 of my kids this year, we found them a varsity. That varsity was, they said it's not all about sport, it's all about the all-round thing. We want the kids to get the marks first before the sport. Because in the past, where kids would take a kid up to Joburg and he would be lost in the system and maybe can't perform on the hockey field as well as he wanted to, or the varsity wants him to. Then the kid ends up playing second team. Then the second year ends up the scholarship says, no, we're done with you. You're not playing. You're not giving us much back. It looks good because most of these sponsors they're willing to take the kids up when it comes to jobs after school, just because they're involved with the schools, and it's easy for a kid. If for me, I was at Queen's College, if I go to an interview wearing my old boy's tie and go there with my ties, it's easy, or wearing a tweezer thing when I go to the tweezer interview and say, no, you guys sponsored us at school, so I felt like I would choose you guys over everyone else. And also when it comes to holiday jobs, lots of kids look for those holiday jobs. And these companies like Tweezer, Regard, HiQ, they normally take up those kids for holiday job. A perfect example, there's one kid who's working at HiQ. He's been working there while he was school for the last 2, at grade 11 and grade 12. And now he went to varsity. Now with this COVID thing coming up, it was easy for them to take him up. And he's been working there now since this COVID thing has started, while studying online. You see, if there's business like that wasn't involved at school, or that business manager didn't meet the kid when he came to hand over the kit, that business guy wouldn't know the kid, and he probably wouldn't have got the job if HiQ didn't sponsor Queens. And then these businesses sponsor schools because they trust on those schools to take their brand out there, especially if a company like HiQ or Tweezer sponsors Queens. They know Queens goes to many festivals all over the country, and it's easy for them to get that brand out there. So there is a big thing. These companies, they don't just sponsor for the names on the kit. They do look after the kids after school and look after their families as well.